All right.
Mhm.
So basically, what you had this sort of shoe that was actually you invented as a way to charge up your mobile phone. But
as you were walking.
how
Yeah.
how is it, how was that related to, what your relationship with Lady Diana?
Well, she was a patron of the Mines Advisory Group,
Okay.
and I was involved there. This
Mm.
is an organisation that was relating to various villages and towns that were surrounded by mines and
Mm.
all sorts of explosives.
Yeah.
And we got to know each other a few times,
Mm.
and she was an absolute stunner, you know.
Yeah.
Gosh, I had to adjust my pacemaker. I made then I made a wind-up pacemaker. No, no, but you understand me.
Yeah, she was pretty sexy, I must admit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I made a self-weighing briefcase.
Right.
You pick up the case and the handle tells you how much it weighs.
Really?
I did that about 20 years ago.
And so, from all these inventions that you invented, what would you say was the most successful invention that?
Well, obviously the radio and the torch and all those bits and pieces. I mean, that's the one that really got the
attention of the world.
attention, with people like Nelson Mandela.
Who you've actually met, I believe.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah.
I spent a couple of days with him in his house in Pretoria.
And what did your impression of it?
Well, he and I were great buddies because he is a man who spent 30 odd years or 32 years, whatever it was, on Robben Island.
Yeah.
And he could have hated every white man on this earth, and who would have blamed him. Apartheid was going in those days. And he and I got on so well, we ended up by going to Buckingham Palace together. And
You're
a
kidding?
couple of old buddies a few times.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I've been to the palace a few times.
So you went with him to the palace?
He became a mate, and we were chatting like we went to school together.
Yeah, I like your car, by the way. It's a really cool, is it a open top Mini, or no, was it a
Well,
MGB?
out the front, you mean?
The one, the MGB, not this one, the one you drive.
I've got an E-type Jaguar.
Oh, okay, yes.
And I've got a...
there's another one, I think.
Yeah, and I've got one out the front here, which I built myself.
Uh-huh.
Full Cortina in it. It's very oldie.
Yeah.
And the other car I've got is a Range Rover.
Oh, okay.
The only trouble is with the Range Rover is that if it breaks down, I need a computer just to open the bonnet.
That's true.
Whereas with the E-type, I've got the ability, providing I can get under it, to tighten things up.
And so, for our listeners in Switzerland and all around the world, we have people in India and people in Africa who listen to our radio station, who are young and they may be in abject poverty. And if they were standing right in front of you, what would you say to inspire those people?
Well, I think the most important thing is to remember that we are all inventors.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think you have to be an Einstein or some clever clod with, I mean, all my doctorates, and I've got 11 of them, and 4 masters and a couple of props, they're all honorary. It's the way society has said, well done, Trev, which I appreciate.
You didn't have to go through a whole bunch of
studying. It took me about 1,000 years to study that lot.
Incredible.
No, but the thing is, it's an honour.
Yeah.
At the
so
end
they
of
said,
the day,
here's a
bloke, if he can do it, I can do it. You see, and that's the way we've got to do it. I'm very anti sort of Dragon's Den type programs.
Yeah.
If somebody has an idea and they go on the screen, they shouldn't become part of a game show.
Yeah.
I've got the greatest respect for anybody who comes up with something which may not be a goer. So what? At least they settle their brain down to sorting out a problem.
What if someone was to come to you and say, Trevor, I've found a new way of actually generating power. I've got a new invention of generating.
Yeah.
And here's how it works. But
well,
I need $25,000 or something like that.
Well, first things first.
Well, how would you? Yeah.
You've got to make sure that it hasn't been done before. Because if it has been done before, you or he could be fined or shot to bits.
Exactly. But if it hasn't been done before and it's a brand new invention,
exactly. Well, the most important thing is this: if you want to discuss it with someone, like myself or somebody else, it will be done. I'd like there to be a Bayliss breakout room at the police station near to you.
What?
So at a police station. So you go in there and you sit down on camera and you discuss your idea with a lawyer alongside you.
Yeah.
Somebody, an engineer or a scientist or a chemist or somebody who's in the line of work that you're discussing.
Yeah.
Then you've got it all on camera and you know the time and so on and so forth. And then if somebody nicks it, you've got the evidence you want to take them to court.
Right.
So we make it safe.
Yeah.
Now, all right.
But I mean, how would you say to these people who don't have those facilities and just say, well, I've got a great idea. How do I take it from being a great idea to getting funding for it?
Yeah, but the thing is, you see, sometimes what you're looking at is not what you're getting. In other words, this so-called great idea.
Yeah.
You say, hang on, if we used it with this or that, it could come up as a...
It could be better.
Wow.
Yeah.
And financing it, we've got to make sure that when the money rolls in, the inventor, he or she, are not rolled out.
Exactly.
And this is where we bring the law in on the equation.
So what you're saying is that it shouldn't be
white-collar crime.
It should be kind of a protection.
Yeah.
And is there anything else that you can tell? I mean, you're 80 years old today, and this is your birthday. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling 100?
Well, I just think I'm a very lucky boy because I look back through time. And ironically, it's not about money as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Because, look, I mean where could you ask for a better house? I've got everything you want. Indoor swimming pool, a hot tub, boat outside, E-Type, a Range Rover. These are because I've done all these things. I've raised the money myself, and I've always thought to myself, work from home. The thought of putting a posh suit on with a Rolex watch and going to the East End of London and working in some ghastly tower block, right, and then coming all the way back from the East End watching EastEnders didn't appeal to me.
Exactly.
Mind you, when he died, he left £6.5 million to the Cats Home. You say, well, why didn't he work in a Cats Home? In other words, follow your heart, do what you like doing.
So that's your best advice to empower yourself as in whatever you want to do.
What gives you a buzz.
What gives you a buzz.
Yeah, But you have to watch it because there are so many sharks out there.
Yes, I know.
And I think, it's fun too. I mean, look at me, how lucky I am. I've been all around the world with the British Council. Been there, done it. And you say, well, what else do you need?
Yeah.
I know me. I'm on camera.
Thank you very much, Trevor. Is there anything else you can tell us listeners at solidarity.fm?
No, just that, as you probably gather, I want to bring invention as part of the national curriculum. And if there's any way I can help, I mean, I do after dinner speaking. I do after dinner speaking. Okay. I always say, if you make them laugh, they listen. I don't want people to be bored rotten. I want people to say, well, blimey, if he can do it, I can do it.
Right.
That's it. And also, there's no point in spending thousands of pounds on somebody's education if somebody comes in from Hong Kong or Timbuktu and takes your job, takes your product.
Exactly.
Nobody wins.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Trevor. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And if you get fed up with that, let me know.
Cut it out, Chris. Okay, cheers.